Real Nerds is a proud partner of the Denver Podcast Network. In the shadow of the mountains,
we speak.
Do you remember where you were when we elected a Sasquatch president?
How about when you learned Ben Franklin was a robot?
Or first heard Stalin's mixtape?
I'm Zach Powers.
I'm Brian Flynn, and we host The Revisionists.
Each episode, one person explains real history and another tells an alternate version.
And the winner becomes the truth. We let comics from Denver and around the country run wild through history.
It's an in-depth look at history, but with more Babadooks.
Check out The Revisionists, available every other Saturday.
Wherever you get podcasts and at revisionistpodcast.com.
Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds Podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Brian. No, this is my announcer voice, and you're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Should I do this as my real self? Oh, shucky darn. Hi, this is Brian Cummings. You're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Okay, do it straight. Hi, this is Brian Cummings, and actually you are listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Send money. And real estate.
Welcome to another Real Nerds Podcast interview from Denver Pop Culture Con 2019. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the Real Nerds Podcast live from Denver Pop Culture Con 2019. I'm joined by Seth here.
Hello.
And Seth, you want to talk about a very lovely movie. Very lovely movie from a couple years ago.
One of my favorite rom-coms, and it's a rom-com.
I want you to reveal...
Swiss Army Man.
Yes, there you go. So, Swiss Army Man, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about it.
I think the most surprising thing that most people learn about it is who stars in it. Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter, plays a corpse.
Yep.
And this corpse has magical abilities that helps another man find his way out of the wilderness and subsequently finds a way to love himself. Which, yeah. It's honestly a beautiful story. Can I move the mic?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Cool. Other way. Ah, damn it. I'm messing up all your audio. All right.
There you
go. Lean back a little bit. There we go.
Yeah. So, anyway, you got Daniel Radcliffe playing a corpse.
Yeah.
Which, when it was first, when the trailers first came out and you see him kind of flying
when it
across...
first came out at the what was it? What was the film festival that came out at?
What was that?
What was the film festival that came out at? Sundance.
Sundance, yeah.
When it first came out at Sundance, apparently half the crowd was like, "This is disgusting. It's nothing but fart jokes."
I was amazed by when we ended up seeing it for the show, and I remember being taken aback by how intelligent it was because I didn't know what to make of it at that point.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was out in Hawaii. I was stationed there, and I remember walking out of the theater just dumbfounded at how profound it was, and at the same time just how fucking funny it was. Can I swear?
Yeah, no, yeah,
dope.
right ahead, yeah.
Okay, and I remember turning to the guy next to me well, that was a thing? I feel like I learned something, but I think I learned it with my butt. I'm not sure.
So did it not sit with you right away as a masterpiece? Did you kind of need time to think about it?
When it got to the bus scene, I knew it was a masterpiece.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's a wonderful moment in that film.
It became a classic at that point for me.
I think it's a film that goes under the radar, especially, and it seemed like it did even when it was gaining some traction online.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that it hasn't been discussed more often in recent years, but
I am too. I mean,
and it's got a perfect Paul Dano performance in my opinion.
It absolutely, and not to put you guys down, but even Red Letter Media, they're not talking about it, and they're they do nothing but review bad movies, and maybe that's why they're not talking about it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, yeah. No, Red Letter Media is a certain type of. We tend to be a little bit more a different general analysis, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, they're very much sketchish.
They're
I guess.
they're detailed
Yeah.
in an utter respectful and yet silly way.
Yeah.
I still love their Star Wars stuff. So how did you find out about Swiss Army Man?
Good God. I think it was just an advert on the background of one of the websites I had to use at the time, and then I saw it and I was like, this is fucking weird. Daniel Radcliffe, a corpse, let's look this up, and the idea intrigued me. I went to go see it at the one night showing out the Dole Theater in Hawaii, and I was the only one of all of my friends who wanted to go, so gonna go see a movie alone, date myself, cool. And maybe 15 other people in the crowd, and we're all I remember just looking around at one point, everyone's just have this dumbfounded expression on their face, what the fuck is this? But
I don't know if people knew what to make of it at that point too, because it's kind of hard to kind of say buy into this for more than 90 minutes.
Yeah,
because the movie's it's not 2 hours, but it's pushing into that territory.
Yeah, about 110, something like that.
Yeah. My favorite moment of the film is honestly when he kind of breaks with his own reality by the time he comes up to her backyard.
Oh man!
Because it's not a shift that I was expecting, and thankfully it kind of reverses course at the end for that finale.
Yeah, absolutely. By that time, after Daniel died again, I legitimately thought we were going to have a mental break where what's his face was revealed to be legitimately insane for the past week and a half,
Right. It was an interesting twist that I feel thankfully it wasn't it wasn't a cop out because they kind of resolve it at the end with him floating
had
away.
This little magical, not nearly Disney moment at the end. That was just a farting speedboat going away.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, what? How do you sell this movie to people, to your friends and stuff like that? When you kind of talk to it with others.
I talk to it like I introduced it. It's a rom-com. I say, do you want to watch a rom-com? Most of my friends are like, that's a little weird, but sure. And then I put that on, and they're like, whoa, this is not a rom-com. And it absolutely is, though, because it has all the beats of a rom-com. There's the awkward introduction. There's the realization that you guys like each other, the growing relationship, and then legitimate eventual love.
Yeah.
An awkward falling out, and then the reuniting. It's
no, you're right. No, it follows that arc specifically.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's hard to sell it in that sense, to a mass audience.
Oh no, absolutely.
But
I have
you are
to
correct.
hide what the movie is until I put it in for my friends.
Yeah, no, it's like any great film when you look at it and realize, oh, it's a secret. This, and
yes.
this.
It's a loving your friends, loving yourself story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the directors, the two Daniels,
they're prop geniuses, I think. And they're way smarter than anyone gives them credit. It's unfortunate that they got their fame from the Turn Down for What music video.
Yeah.
Because they deserve so much more credit than just that.
But they now have opportunities to kind of prosper and whatnot. Swiss Army Man definitely is a calling card.
Yes.
To be sure.
It's definitely a signature. This is what we can do.
Yeah. What would you want to see out of the next Daniels film? Because at this point, not much else can top Swiss Army Man.
I don't know. I have to let them. I just have to let them go.
Yeah.
If you love it, let it free. But if I want anything else from them, I just have to see what they have, because that movie is so out of left field, fucking far left field, that I don't think I can give them anything that throw ideas at them that they could say, yeah, that's better than what we have.
Right. Yeah. I appreciate that you're not beholden to suddenly this artist made something good. Oh, now everything they do must be perfect.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I agree, because they're allowed to stumble every so often.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sitting down and chatting with us about Swiss Army Man. This was a fun little chat to kind of get more information out about that movie, which I haven't talked about. I haven't talked about it in 3 years. It's
really?
fun. I've watched it since I saw it, but I hadn't
it was
re-talked about it with anybody.
It was one of the happiest days when I realized it was on American Netflix. Oh my god! I was in the Navy for the past near 10 years, and I've been in Japan for most of it.
Yeah.
And they didn't have most of what I wanted to watch, and then I came back out of the Navy. Obviously, now that I have a fucking 4-inch beard.
Yeah.
But came back and I saw Swiss Army Man. Yes!
It was the ultimate welcome home present.
Yeah, it really was.
Well, thank you for chatting with us, Seth, about Swiss Army Man. This has been Real Nerds Podcast live from Denver Pop Culture Con 2019, talking some farting corpses. See y'all later.
This has been another Real Nerds Podcast interview from Denver Pop Culture Con 2019. See you next year.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Real Nerds Podcast. Real Nerds Podcast is a production of Nebulous Visions Multimedia. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios for our kick-ass theme song. Also, if you're in the Denver area and you're looking for a cool place to see movies, we see them at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton and now also in Sloan's Lake. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics for supplying us with all our comic needs, especially you, Andrew. You know who you are. And a big shout out to James's mom. I'm giving you an electronic hug that you can feel through the airwaves. Thanks for listening, and have a nice day.